What's going on, guys? Welcome. Tim here at Volatility Trading, Friday night live stream. Let's get to it. Not really sure what we're getting to, but we're going to chill. We're going to have a good time. We're going to talk some trading. We're going to drink some spirits. We're going to have a good time. I kind of want to go get a snack. I'm pretty hungry. That was the one last thing I wanted to do, but I couldn't keep you guys waiting any longer. 10 minutes late is 15 minutes late. Usually I have the stream up and running. I honestly just lost track of time, not gonna lie. It's a little odd for me. Usually I'm on time. What's up, Graham? Graham. I did scare him off, didn't I? Adachi, what's up, man? Gold Star Trading, how you doing? Thomas had to come to the camp so I could watch the live stream, and you're late. Yeah, I'm late. Sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Just gonna knock our trades from today out. LI, man. I was so frustrated with this one. I really loved the first trade. It just did not want to cooperate at all. I saw this level here. I was looking at it when I was completely zoomed out. So when it came up, that was kind of why we got our first entry. I was like, ooh, some good resistance there. And then it kept going. And I was like, all right, well, we'll look to add. We missed this move. We were looking for it to get closer to that 2140. Then we realized this thing was all done. It was done. So we added, and it missed our take profit by 5 cents. We had it at 20. I didn't ever actually check. It was either 2086 or 88. Where's the order? It was 86. So, yeah, it missed us by 5 cents here. Would have gave us a $15 winner, but instead it decided to go back towards high of day. It kind of stalled. It looked like it maybe didn't want to go, so we added one last time as close as we could. And then sure enough, literally like right after we added, boom, right to high day. So it wasn't that bad. Went up, went through that 2140 area. It went through 2150, and it tried up these areas, and it started getting rejected pretty good. I jumped in a little bit late on this one, looking for it to come down and retest these levels before deciding what it wanted to do. It did exactly that. We ended up with a nice little scale out there. That was 75% of our position. And as you can see, we were looking to do this with the remaining shares. I'm going to try to get into the habit of, if I get down to remaining shares, just throwing that stop at high of day and letting it go. And that's exactly what I did. And unfortunately, as you can see, yeah. Hey, David. Call you. What can I call you? Call me Time. What can I call you? David? David? What was the other trade? MDI. This one was actually a pretty good one. This was kind of like, if we go back and look at LI, this was almost the same trade, right? Went up, we were early, ended up getting an ad on what seemed to be a little bit of the backside, right? And then it worked, right? This would have worked if 5 cents more. That's all we needed. And again, I remember saying in the video, when this was at 91, the ask was still up there at 21, and our average was at 2103. So I had somebody in the Discord ask me, like, well, why didn't you take some of your shares off? Well, I can't just take some of my shares off for break even. I could, but it doesn't really make sense to me. But anyways, taking a look at this trade, you can see it was kind of the same thing, added kind of on the backside, risking off that current high of day. MDI basically did the same thing. Got a little bit of a better ad there, but we were risking high of day. We kind of felt it jiggling, trying to get back up to high of day, and ended up being a good trade. Unfortunately, we messed up on this one. We hit, which we're gonna change this tonight, which I completely didn't think about. I gotta load one of the montages actually. If I montage it, but anyways, real quick, I'll keep explaining it real quick before I do this. I hit my button thinking it was $15, and I knew that would be somewhere under VWAP, like around this previous resistance, and I was gonna line up 75, 80%. I don't know exactly. I don't remember what was my share size on this one. 40. So I had 80. I was going to do 70, I think. No, I was probably going to do 60. So it's probably 75%. And, or maybe I did do 65, which would have been 80%, right? I don't remember. I don't remember what my thought process was in the exact moment, but I know I was going to scale out at that $15 mark. And then I was going to put my stop right there at break even, because on leftovers, I would always, if I have a great average like near high of day, I would just use that as my stop, because if it's that close to high of day, I really have no want to be in the trade anymore, because it's most likely going to try high of day. Um, but at the same time, I'm trying to let them do this, right? This did exactly what LI did. And if I would have scaled out of this one, it probably would have looked exactly like LI did, where I would have had a scale out around here, and then it would have went up, stopped me out for the rest, and then faded the rest of the day. These fake out breakouts, man, they're real. You need to start paying attention to them, because I know even David has been saying that he's been paying attention to them, and for good reason. They do this a lot. And so it is definitely something to look forward to, or look into going forward. But what I was going to say, if we load default, this button, this cover 100% 15 button, is still set to 10, because all I did when I made this button, I didn't really have an intention to use it right away, because I was getting a lot of single entry trades, was I just copy pasted this. I mean, it's literally the same script. I just took it from here to here, and I never changed it to 15, which I don't understand why I didn't change it as I put it in. But I didn't realize it until after I loaded it on all 6 of my montages. So really, all I have to do is this, hit OK, and I'm done. Right now it's 15. The problem is the one time I did do it, it was really late at night, and I didn't save it, and I didn't realize it until the next day when I went to use it, and it was wrong. And I don't know, I just kept forgetting to do it. It makes no sense. All the time, you have all this time all day. I don't know. I just kept forgetting to do it. Stupid. I know, it's my job, right? How can I be so lazy to keep forgetting to get on here and change one freaking number on 6 montages? It makes no sense. But we're going to take this montage, and we're actually going to do it right now. Give me one sec. Let me put this over here. All right. We're going to change this to a short only montage. I'm so short biased that I don't ever go long, like ever. And if I am going to go long, I'll just do it manually, because I can do a trade manually. It's not a big deal. And to be completely honest, I feel like I would make less mistakes if I was doing it manually, because I go into the trade doing it manually. It makes me focus instead of just accidentally hitting the wrong hot button, because I'm so used to hitting that hot button. So that's what I'm going to do. And the first thing we're going to do is we're going to copy paste this one. And we're going to actually make another one here. Cover 100%. We're going to make it 20. And in reality, these buttons, the $10 one, I'll use a lot, because of if I get a single entry and it wants to come right back down, I'm going to take that. That's a winner. If I feel like I hit the top, maybe I'll look to scale out, but I don't really see the benefit in scaling out when it's just a single entry. So like what I'm saying is, here on MGI, if this was the top and it drops right back down to where it would have gave me $10, so be it, right? My quota on the day is $30. If I can make 33% of my quota on the day in one trade that quick, I'm good with it, right? Sure, it might give me more, but there's always a possibility it might not. So if I can make my quota in 3 trades every day, I'd be pretty happy with that. You start to scale up. Say your quota is $300, and now I want to make $100 each trade, right? That sounds pretty good, right? We just added a 0, but it sounds a lot better because the numbers are bigger, right? But if I can make $300 in 3 trades that were pretty stress-free, because it only took 1 entry and it just came down and filled me right away, who wouldn't take that, right? So that's kind of where I stand with that. Oh, yeah. That's right. David, and this is all going to go into my DOS video. Now, speaking of which, let me pause my music. I know you guys can't hear this, but when I stay quiet for a second, tell me if you guys can hear like a crackle or static or something like that. I'm going to be quiet in 1, 2, 3. Do you guys hear that? Yes? No? Yes? No? Yeah. Well, It took me, I stayed up, and this is part of why the montage never got done. I stayed up until 2, 3 o'clock for 3 nights in a row because that is bothering me so bad. And like, I can literally take the XLR cable. Let me pull, where's my OBS? I can unhook the mic, but I don't even have to. Watch. That's just me doing this to the XLR cable. And when I unhook it from the mic, it still does it. So I know it's not the mic. When I unhook it from the interface, it stops. So at first, I thought it was the cable. Well, I had an extra cable, tried it, did the same thing. I have a friend that has a cable, tried it, didn't matter. Tried a different mic, is still doing it. So I was like, well, crap, maybe it's the interface. So he actually, the friend, has the same interface, tried that down here, and it did the same thing. So I was like, well, maybe it's not the interface. Took my interface to his computer with the mic and everything, and it all worked fine. So I was completely baffled. I was like, well, if it's not one of these three, then what the heck is it? And I started doing some research, and this is why I was up till 2, 3 in the morning for 3 days straight. And I found out there's a thing called a ground loop. And for any audiophiles out there, you probably know what that is. But essentially what it's doing is the ground within my PC desktop, my computer, the actual tower, the power going through it is using the same cycle as the USB port. So it's basically looping the ground instead of actually going to the ground. And that's what's causing that static or crackle, whatever you want to call it. It sounds like more of a crackle to me when I listen to it. It's been bothering me, and it needs to go away. The problem is I bought a part. It's like a little USB dongle, basically, where it cuts off the power that it's getting from the computer. So the USB going into the computer will no longer get power because it'll be connected into this USB, which essentially it cuts the power completely off but still feeds the data into the PC. And then you take an external power which plugs into that dongle and into the wall or outlet, whatever, and it gives it its own power source, which should effectively stop the ground loop. And that won't be here until Monday, which now ruins my plans of wanting to do the DOS video over the weekend because I had absolutely nothing to do over the weekend. The wife has the kids for the weekend, just taking, doing some stuff. Minus tomorrow. Tomorrow night we're going to attempt to do trick-or-treating with just immediate family. We're going to take them, doing the whole safe trick-or-treating thing. And yeah, so I had plenty of time to try to knock out this DOS video that I've been meaning to do, which is how we segued into this. Because I want to make this DOS video, and what David just brought up is adding this command, and it just made me think of it. I'm not going to do it this weekend because I don't get the part until Monday, and hopefully that'll even solve it. But then I still have, I'm not going to do a whole video that's probably going to be like 20 minutes long of this in-depth DOS, tutorial slash, just going through everything, and have it just, people are going to like hear that and they're just going to be like, what the kind of mic is this guy using? This guy's not professional. I don't know. It just, that doesn't bother me necessarily more than when I listen back to it and I'm editing, because I have to sit there and listen to that the entire editing process, and it's just like crackle, 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 and I'm just like, ugh. But I digress. Back to here. So what this command that David put in here, this auto CXL cover equals Y. When you're in a position, what keeps vibrating when I hit the table? This guy? I don't know. Number 2 down, by the way. Went out and got a fresh one. Fresh sixer. So what it does is, say you're in a position of 100 shares. You cover 50 shares. You cover 25. You got to stop in above high of day and a take profit order down at whatever price for the rest of your position. So basically like a range, not a range order, but like say you have multiple take profit orders. Say you got one for like 10 of the shares, another 10, and then 5, right, for the last 25 shares. NJ Beach Hunter, thanks for the sub, man, if you're in here. If you are, say hello. Appreciate that. Appreciate the support. The What it's doing is you'd have those 3 orders out, and then you say you have that stop up at high of day, and it goes up and hits that stop. Well, normally all those 3 other orders that you had out there will just stay there until you cancel them. Well, you could have a button, which I think we were trying to figure out. It'd be nice if there was a button where you could cancel everything. You can manually click them over in the order screen, whichever way you want to do it. But with this auto CXL cover equals Y, what that does is it puts the command in so that when you exit the trade and your position hits 0, it cancels every other order on that ticker. That's pretty awesome. I had no idea that that existed. And, I'm Mr. DOS at this point. And yeah, so I was actually pretty happy with that. I just noticed you guys can see my little crosshair guy. I don't like the crosshair they use in one of the games that I play, so I make my own. I'm so used to seeing it there that I don't even notice that it's there most of the time. But yeah. All right, so I'm actually going to ask David. I'm pretty sure you just put it at the front, because I was telling him all I have to do is put it in front of these, because I always click these buttons. The problem is I was just thinking, these are just load buttons. Yeah, but if this is a load button, like for instance, if I'm in a trade, like say I click this to get into a trade, say I have 100 shares and I get in, and then like I clear everything, but if I hit this again and then I use these shares, it doesn't actually cancel my button, because when I use this, I'm technically using the manual entry. I'm only using this to load buttons, because as you could even see, I have cancel all symbol, which what that does is if you have any orders on the symbol, if you put this script through, if this was a send script, before it executes the script, it would cancel all previous orders. Now the reason I have that, if you look at my cover buttons, I have that in front. So say I had an order, I had those same 3 orders out, and then I also had to stop at high of day, but say we're in the middle, like chopping around at my average, and I just want to get out of it. If I hit this cover 100% position button, it'll cover after it cancels all 4 of those orders. So that's what that does. Will work even if it's in a load only. So it just has to be activated. Are you sure? Is there a way to check? Because I remember you sent me a screenshot of saying it was on. I could check it real quick. It basically is just a command to turn the feature on. So every time you hit the hotkey, it will just turn on. Is there a way to check if it's on? So I'm just going to add it in front of this. I guess I could just replace this cancel symbol, because that's not actually doing it. I just like keeping it there just in case. Well, I could add it to a load, but what if I don't use a load? Because there are sometimes too where I'll use these buttons and then I'll get in up here and then I'll put my order out up here. I mean, lately I haven't been, because I've been using these 10 and 15 buttons just to add it everywhere. But didn't you send me a screenshot of it working? That's what I'm confused. I thought you showed me somewhere where it told you it was on. All right, well, I just clicked it. Nothing happened. Click the green bar above it. Oh, here? Auto cancel cover order on. Okay, cool. I didn't think it would put it in there, but it did. Cool. I swear you showed me. I'm going to check. Give me a sec. Scroll, scroll. Oh, so that's what you showed me. Okay. That was actually what you... Okay, makes sense. I thought it looked something like a menu that you had showed me before. Anybody want one? I got 6 more. My pinky still hurts. David, this one's for you. All right. Don't make it so hard. Do it manually. One double click, one mouse wheel, scroll, one click, done. You know, you do your thing, bro. You're old school. I get it. I can do it manually, and I tell everyone, you guys should smell this. It's so good. I've had this candle forever. I think I told you guys that story already about the candle. I think you need all of them right now, bud. All of them? What do you mean all of them? Oh, all the beers. Yeah. All right, let me add this guy. Let me actually copy it with the hyphen. I do pretty much always use these buttons, so I'm assuming before I take a trade in the morning, I'm going to hit one of these buttons. And just in case, I can put it in front of these guys because I know I'm going to hit these. And that should be good. Like David said, I mean, what's the harm in having it there? It's not hurting anything. All right. Camille, what's up, man? I'm really thirsty. Really thirsty. All right, let's save this while it's like this. There we go. All right, what else do we want to change here? So tonight really is just kind of shooting the shit. Don't really have anything specific to talk about unless you guys want to ask some questions. Always more than willing to dive into a topic that you guys want to talk about. But I'm just going to sit here and mess with this montage for the most part. I don't really see, like, ever since I've been doing this, I don't really see myself using this cover 1R button anymore. Although I guess if I get to a point like where it almost hits max loss, like I get my last ad, it would be nice to kind of see where that is. I actually have been checking the shares left a lot. I use both of these and I use the stop max. Make sure that's actually on. See? Oh, that's the default. Man, I wonder if I changed that on each one. I might have still been using the old max loss and didn't even know it. Is that your scary costume? You're a jerk. My win rate last month was actually horrible. 67.61%. Actually, I think it was worse than that because that's including those couple days in September. Hold on. Yeah, it was actually only 64.62%. It's a pretty rough month for me. Like I feel like I just was trading like crap. This week though, I actually felt like I was trading pretty well. Minus that one day. Look, it's okay for me because Brian had his first red day since I met him on Wednesday. And it made me feel okay about that day going the way that it did. I had 3 losses in a row, and that's my rule. If I have 3 losses in a row, I'm done. Whether it's after winners or before winners, just 3 losses in a row, I'm done. Obviously, I'm not doing something right. And those 3 trades, they were just brutal. I can show you the P&L curve. It's not a big deal. Since I started, I'm just under even, 888, negative 888. But that was with that one really bad day. Let's see. I don't know why it's like stuck over there. Oh, it's trying to show lifetime. Oh, that's cool. This is new. I was like, why is it like that? They added, I don't know what this is. Guess it adds commissions in there. Yeah, oh, that's cool. So now you can see it with commissions, which obviously that sucks. That's cool. They have so that's a new addition. It used to just go off of what your date was specifically. Now they have last 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, lifetime. The bar chart is still there, which I actually like the bar chart. I just know that a lot of people like using the line chart. It's easier to kind of comprehend. But it was a um, pretty up and down month. Had those this. You guys remember this week? This week was just I was making trades that I wouldn't normally take. Um, there was like 2 or 3 trades in there that I wouldn't have normally taken. I was just not in the zone at all. And then this is Wednesday that day. That sucked. But I actually this chart looks like doo doo, but I actually feel really confident going forward. Like I don't know. I don't know what it was about today. We lost money today just a little bit, but it just felt right. Like I felt like I was finally what I tried to start doing back here when I started this is now what I finally felt like I did today and yesterday. Yesterday and today, it was almost like something kind of clicked. And it was like, and what I really think it is, like if we take a look real quick at the chart, I'll get back to the montage here in a sec. It's these backside ads. It's crazy how much of a difference these backside ads make. And I mean, look, I got pretty aggressive with this one. I even got a third one in there. But essentially what it's doing is you're doubling your size almost. Like this time I think this was 30. Yeah, 30, 30, 30. But essentially, like on the first one, I'm doubling my size. But to get to my take profit, like if I had the same $10 take profit, that's a lot closer now, right? It's a lot closer than it was if I would have just not added. But I also had a definitive risk off at that point. So I know right now I can add shares and I'm well within my risk parameters that if it does go high of day, it's not that big of a deal because I'm not usually adding to get full size, but I'm adding enough to where it makes sense where it's I don't need that much of the move now to get back to that point that where like when I first entered this trade to hit, let's just do the math real quick. Here we go with freaking math. So 2097, 30 shares, calc. Good old math, trusty math. 30 divided by 10, 10 divided by 30. So we needed 33 cents. Entry was at 2097, so 64. Jeez. So we needed this to get all the way down here to get our $10 when we first entered. And I remember when I first entered this, I had the intentions of kind of hammering it if it kept going. And it was my first trade of the day. So, and it was right at the bell. So I was being, I tend to be a little bit more on the cautious side because you never know when these things are just going to rip. And I don't want to get stopped out too early, right, for being too aggressive. But I have every intention of doing this on the backside, and I give myself room to do that. So now we add, and 2109, so it gave us a 2103 average, but now we have 60. So where'd my calculator go? So 10 divided by... So now we only need 16 cents, right? So now, I don't know what this line's doing here, but we're going to use it. But 03, 93, 83, so 86. That was right. That's why we had our order at 86. But now we went from needing 64 all the way up here to 86, and the price was only right here, right? That's not that far away, considering, and we almost got it. It was 5 cents away. Unfortunately, the spread kept us from taking anything off in this process, Um, but then it went back up, and believe it or not, when we added here, I mean, it did go straight to high of day. But if you wanted to do the math, I mean, it would bring this up even more if we were only looking to make that $10 every single trade. But after I get that second ad, I'm usually looking for that 15. That's why I put that 15 on the montage, this guy here, because I'm at least looking for that. And that's why I tried to hit that on MGI, because I was looking to scale out of my position on MGI, but down at that price level. Because when you start to add to your position, that means you're taking on more risk. So you should try essentially to get more reward out of it. So that was kind of what happened there. And I felt good about that. Like just actually doing it and seeing it happen. Like doing it on paper and like drawing all these lines on the chart like I am right now, like without these arrows, and actually trading it and having it happen in front of you, it's so different. It's so different versus actually doing it and seeing your average move up and seeing where that take profit is now versus where it was. It's just actually living that, like actually pushing those chips into the middle of the table. It's totally different than thinking about it. So that, I don't know, it's that, it really is screen time, experience, all those things. Felt so good to have a red day knowing even B couldn't make that day green. Yeah, that was pretty crazy. Yet he's still green on the week. I know, that's just nuts. If you lose, just size up, as Brian's motto, basically. Yeah, I traded CCL, but it was after 11, so I did the old paper thing. Or that was actually a pretty good trade. I just started a little early, pretty much hit the top after it felt the jiggle. I thought it was going to shoot right up to 14, but it didn't. Then I actually tried to scale out of this. I tried to go a little bit lower, but then it got bought up, and that's why I took the rest off. You can see two covers there. That would have been a good one. I played it normal too. You know, I took 40, and then I tried scaling out 65, so I took 75 or 80%, and then was looking for the rest and just didn't get it. I was looking for this to hopefully come back down to this area, but obviously there was some decent news or whatever to make them do it. I mean, they all did it. RCL, NCLH, all the cruise lines. What was that? Cuck? I don't even know what Cuck is, but that was the one that was going with them. Maybe you guys know what that one is. Constantine, good morning, man. I like to let stuff trend a bit before counter trending. What? Yeah, MGI was fun. I liked trading it. It was MGI was pretty cool because on this candle, it shot up. As you can see, this candle before it closed down here, and then this shot up, and you could feel the jiggle again. Just it couldn't get up to high day, and that's why I hit the button there. And I literally, because in my video, you're like, it looks like it's going to go high of day. And then it's like, well, maybe not. And then I was like, yeah, I'm just going to keep the stop in. I was like, I'm going to cancel it and I'm going to put it in. And so I did, because I could feel it jiggling. And luckily, it gave me enough time. And literally, as I hit the button, it came flushing down. And I was so mad when I hit. Anyway, that's not going to happen again. We're fixing that. I'm actually jealous, Constantine. I would much rather trade at night. I feel so much more focused at night, to be honest. It's so hard for me to wake up in the morning. I'm the one that's waking up Eastern time. Brian and these guys, they're all waking up at 5 in the morning, 4 in the morning. I'm over here just trying to get up by and going by 9 o'clock. Yeah, everybody put Thomas in their thoughts. He's dealing with that hurricane. Had some decent damage. His power's out. I think. What'd you say? They were saying like 2 weeks. That's crazy, man. We actually had the remnants of that come through today. Or was it today, or is that what's coming through tomorrow? There's so many freaking hurricanes now. I don't know what's. I mean, 2020, man. Let me see. There's another hurricane. A super typhoon, Goni. the heck is a super typhoon? The yeah, I think the remnants of that was yesterday when we got it. I think tomorrow is just normal rain. I knew we were supposed to get rain tomorrow, but I just didn't know how much. What the heck is a super typhoon? New tropical invest has high chance of development. Is that the one they're talking about? Maybe that's like just a storm, like a big storm that's not really even a tropical storm yet. Rock you like a hurricane. It's usually fine for me. Yes, I would prefer an hour earlier though. Maybe need to move to Singapore. Will get difficult for me when daylight savings time soon. Yeah, yeah, right. That's gonna be an hour later for you. Ugh. You wanted an hour earlier, and now it's gonna basically be 2 hours after you would want it. All right, what do I want to do here to this montage? I feel like that was the main thing. Could do like change these to 75 and 90. How about we do 25? Change this one to 50. Yeah, I think that's what I'm going to do. I'll just make the load ones the same. That way I just have every scenario covered. Guess it would help if I change the actual script. I just noticed that I didn't put this in there. Party people! Well, I guess I don't even need that for the cover buttons, right? Because that'll cancel it for me. Because those are live buttons. We'll do 75. I don't really ever use 80. I feel like it's such a weird number. And then we'll do 90. I feel like that's something I would use more. This is for sale. Alright, load. Change this one to 25. Brian's like shaking his head. Freaking noobs. Freaking noobs. Load. 75. Every day. I really wish that copyright wasn't such a big deal. Like for something like this, it's like you would think they'd want you to play their music, right? You would think that would make sense. The 4 or 5 a.m. thing sucks big time. But being done at 8 to 9 makes a good day. That's true. Or a bad day. How was Wednesday the rest of the day, Brian? Did you just kind of sit in the hammock? Uh, Graham, no. I don't do any sports betting. My dad does enough of that for me. Yeah, they're speeding up to get the power done maybe sooner. I saw like 7 trucks working in my hood when I left to come to the camp. Yeah, I remember you said there was like all kinds of different out of state companies that came. That's pretty awesome. I mean, I'm sure they're getting paid, but still, it's nice of them to come away from their families to help you guys out. Why not trade the impulse legs instead of the small pullback? Can you explain your strategy? I will. Adachi, yes, we are. We're very much enjoying ourselves, man. Just need to grab one of these. Graham says, Trader, he's talking to Trader One. It's emotions the strat capitalizes on, which are the highest odds. Yeah. No, an impulse leg was not explained. I think I mean, if I had to think of what an impulse leg is, I guess it would be he's talking about the squeeze, the breakout. I don't really. I've never heard the term impulse leg used before. I am again. I'm planning on pumping out some videos in the next couple weeks, but until that happens, or until I get my new mic, or not new mic, the hopefully fix my mic on Monday, I'm not going to do any of those videos because those are videos that I want. They're not like the daily videos where people watch that day and then never watch again for the most part. They're videos where people might search for and come back to kind of thing. So I would like for the mic quality not to be absolute garbage. Um, but explaining my strategy is definitely going to be one of them. And anyone who's been around for a while knows that my strategy has kind of changed here and there. But I like to think that we're in a spot now where it's pretty set. So pretty stoked about that. True story about Dad. Yeah. He looks forward to football season just so he can bet. That's like his favorite thing to bet on is football. And he has DirecTV, the NFL ticket, so that he can watch the screen. He has a big screen TV, and he'll put all 8 games, like the 8 game screen on there, because he's bet on pretty much all of them, and he's like hyper focused, and he gets so like his swings throughout the day of his emotions up and down as these games are being played out. I'm just like sitting there like you can't do anything about it. Just sit down and watch the games. If you win, you win. Like you made your decision before the game started. You sitting here yelling at the TV is not going to change anything. And the amount of times he's said that all these games are rigged, like Vegas controls all of this stuff, it's just I just first beer? No, this is my third beer. You want one? He doesn't bet basketball anymore. The Elliott wave theory. Yeah. I remember Brian actually said that the Elliott wave theory was something that he thought was kind of something worth looking into. Same with the fibs. The fibs are another one. It's kind of I kind of use the fibs, but you guys don't really realize it. But I use pretty much what the 50% line would be. That's where I'm usually looking to take profit. I mean, that was exactly where I wanted my line to be. Let's what was the other one? LI. Let's get rid of all these lines. Where was my order? 86, right? I'm always looking. I mean, granted, it just kind of fell there, but I'm always trying to be at that 50% line because the fibs. I mean, I feel like they fall right around that 50% line a lot. It's just kind of what they do. But I don't really know Elliott waves. I'm not gonna lie; it's kind of one thing I don't know a lot about. It's something I've never really got into. throughout my career. So it is something maybe I'll look into just to look into it and know what it is, and see if there's any way that it can just kind of benefit my overall thinking of what's going on. If it can help me get out of a position or maybe wait a little bit longer, just like get better entries per se. Like I'm always trying to learn. So I'm not going to, and there's thousands of ways to make money in the market, right? That's the beauty of all this. I can make money doing it my way, and you can buy my shares and make money going the other way. Impulse leg, meaning that leg up at the open as an example, including the pullbacks. Not saying to play the open, though. Gotcha. Yeah. So basically, you're looking for the breakouts. Essentially, you're looking for the impulse move, which is a breakout. Like my mom cheering for the... Jeez. Save some for the trick-or-treaters. I ain't answering the door for the trick-or-treaters. I'm not going to be here. Use a linear regression channel? I ain't using no linear regression channel. Wait, Boyts, are you in my Discord? Are you... What's your name in Discord? That has to be you. That would be too weird if it wasn't you. Hold on, I'm scrolling. Is this still today? Oh, this is yesterday. You were the one posting about all that, right? Yeah, here you go. Dennis Tommy. Is that you? Connor? Connor uses that? Yeah, well, Connor also uses Thinkorswim, or at least he used to, and he would mark it and mark it out of trades, so... Biz learning a lot tonight. And the Fips are actually a really good tool. It's a simple tool, but it got to the point where I didn't need them on the chart anymore. It's the more you talk with Brian, the more you realize that you have too much shit on your chart. The only reason I have this blue line, which is the 9 EMA, the only reason I have that on there is it helps me personally identify something that's grinding a lot easier. I can use this and like something like this move here. Look how far away it gets from that 9, right? But look at this. Look how close it stays to the 9 as it's moving up, right? That's two completely different moves. This is an impulse move, right? This is emotions. This is FOMO. This is a squeeze. Versus this is just people, there's just more bulls than bears at this point, and it's just grinding its way up, right? And that's why I have that there. VWAP is also a really good one. I love VWAP because it really just shows you where the average price is for the most part and how extended away from it is. So you almost feel throughout the day at some point it's probably going to come to VWAP, but keep in mind, and this has happened to me before in the past where it's burned me pretty bad, where I used to play just extensions. I was just looking for extensions, not always moves that were also fast. And that VWAP, just like that 9 EMA, can just start to climb until the price just consolidates sideways for the most part, and that VWAP will catch up to it. It doesn't always have to come back down to where VWAP was, right? That's the thing with these indicators. They're all past driven. It's all telling you the past. And it's never going to tell you the future, obviously. Keep it simple, buy low, sell high, repeat. It works. Channels are amazing, especially on the daily chart. Along with trend lines, channels tell the bulk of the story. Yeah, the white line is the VWAP. The blue line is the 9 EMA. I mean, you guys can look at channels, but yeah, I was literally about to say what Graham said. They're trend lines. I mean, that's really all they are. VWAP is shit. Use TWAP instead. That's what the institutions use. What the f is TWAP? what the? What is TWAP? Here, hold on, Brian. Let me change it to your favorite color. There you go. Maybe you can see that. Still doesn't really come up that well, does it? Quality on this is horrible. Oh, it's probably because I'm on. Yeah. Probably better than the blue though. Time weighted average price. Just out of curiosity, I'm gonna see if they even have it on here. I don't see it. What's the other? What was the other one that you guys were talking about? Was it the Keltner? Linear regression. That's what. There it is. Oh, come on, guys. This is the. I remember looking at these. These are the ones that move based on the time frame. You can't use these intraday. Look, I mean, when all I have to do is scroll, and they change. Look at that. I mean, these are. I mean, I think you had said on the daily. I guess that would make more sense, but I mean, how does that help? I mean, unless I guess if you're swing trading. I mean, it clearly didn't help on this day. Or this day. I mean, I guess it's sort of. I mean, if you're swing trading, I guess. For timing? What timing? How is this going to help you trade intraday? Only on the 1 minute chart? How? I don't understand. How do you use it? Like how are you just saying above this it's clearly extended? Like is that the principle behind that? But that's only based off of here. Like if I scroll back a day, I mean look at how crazy that looks. Like how many days do you have to have on it? Next you're gonna tell me it only works if you have it on like 3.5.247 days. You draw your channel lines, so I'm the head, it's gonna explode. Guys, there's no holy grail. Stop looking for it. It's not there. I hate to be the bearer of bad news. It's not there. I hate people. I don't hate people. I hate when people come into my Discord or in here for that matter. I'm not saying you guys. I'm definitely not. I'm giving you an example of something that I dislike. I will use the word dislike. Hate is a very powerful word. Jack, I very much dislike people that come in here or come into the Discord and they show one or two charts, maybe even like 10 charts that they've collected over a period of time of where this linear regression, if you use 5.6 days and only on the 1 minute, that it works. Well, every strategy out there is going to work. Brian, I totally just remembered what I wanted to tell you based off of what I just said about that Chris Verma guy. He said something in the interview. I'm going to go find it. And it's so true. And I don't want to mess up what he said, so I'm going to wait to say it. Actually, hold on. Let me pull it up real quick. I really don't want to forget this. Taking a break in my little rant for a second. I watch too much YouTube, so it's going to take a sec of scrolling probably. And all this freaking like mic research that I was trying to figure out. Anybody want to go skydiving with me, by the way? It's something I've been wanting to do. I'll probably wait till the kids are a little bit older, just to be safe. Where is this interview? I'm about to just go on Twitter because I know exactly where it's at on there. Alright, we're just going to do that. By the way, if any of you don't follow Chris Verma on Twitter, it's at KRISVERMA88. I don't really have any affiliations with him, and I don't think he even knows who I am. But I've been following him for a while, and he's a very honest guy, and his story's pretty cool. And you can tell he's a legit trader. Pretty good guy to follow. All right, here's the... Oh, I don't want this. I want the... Okay, so I randomly clicked in the video and I actually clicked right on it, so that was pretty lucky on my part, but rather be lucky than good any day, right? So what he says is there's more profitable strategies than traders that can execute them. That's powerful. Like, I remember him saying that, and I was just like, oh, shit. Like, I remember watching that, and I was like, damn. Like, he just said that. There's so many strategies out there that would work if a trader executed it properly, was consistently executing the strategy the way that it was made to be executed. But emotions become involved, inexperience becomes involved. Like, all these outside things become involved, and the strategy might not be the problem, right? And when he said that, I was like, ooh, that's good. And I feel like I'm one of them, right? I have a strategy. I know it works. There's somebody that proves to me every day that it works. So it's just a matter of becoming consistent, getting that experience, that screen time, and making it work for yourself. All right, let me catch up what you guys said. No one said Holy Grail. I feel like I'm part of someone telling me there's a Holy Grail at this current moment. I'm not digging or specifically talking about anybody in general. I'm just saying that's how I feel when people are like linear regression, only 1 minute chart. Have to use the daily. Like, it's like they're trying to tell me that they know something that always works. You get it all the time. These people that are newer traders, that they see somebody else do it, like Mullet Man, and all of a sudden they're a pro trader because they've watched him trade. Just because you watch LeBron James play basketball doesn't mean you can go out on the court and do what LeBron James does. That's not how it works. You can't and that applies to any sport. You can't watch someone like Kershaw go out and pitch a complete game no-hitter in the World Series and go out there and do it yourself. It's just not going to happen, right? You have to have a specific skill set. You have to have experience. You have to put the time in. It's not just something that you're just like, oh, well, he's doing it that way. That's why someone like Ross can do what he does. I'm not even going to get into that. But he does have the experience. He knows how things work. He knows how to do what he does. There's a reason why people can't show up, and he can tell them exactly what he's going to do, and he's going to do it. And the people that are following him still can't do it because they don't understand everything behind it. They haven't went through every possible situation to trade exactly like he does. And that's why they are all sheep, because they're trying to follow somebody without understanding how everything works. And I feel like we get this all the time. And the whole purpose of me and trying to go the way that I am with the YouTube channel is to not allow that to happen. Not let people come in here and be like, this is the Holy Grail. There is no Holy Grail. There's no Holy Grail. It's not there. If there is, keep it to yourself. If you found something that works all the time and you're consistently profitable with it, keep it to yourself. Just go do it. Stop trying to tell everyone else how to do it. Tell your friends and family, like, make them a lot of money. But there's no reason to come out here and flaunt that you know exactly what works. I'm not saying I do. I clearly don't. I'm trying to figure out something that works. But when I do, you're not going to see me going out there trying to flaunt it around. You're just going to see it because I'm documenting my journey. So those people irritate me. They irritate me because they're taking the wrong path. They're trying to act like there's somebody that they're, I'm not saying, maybe they are that person. There's a slim chance, but there are some people that can probably do what they're saying, but at the same time, it's usually for a small period of time. This linear regression thing, how long have you been doing it? Do you have a really big sample size? Are you consistent with it? Or is it something that you just started doing 2 weeks ago or even 2 months ago and it just happens to be working? You know how many people have made a lot of money since March because of what's going on? It's kind of, a lot of people were actually referencing the dot-com bubble or just the dot-com era where you could literally just buy anything and make a lot of money because everything was just going up, 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 up. Everything was just going up. And that's kind of what stocks are doing right now. You know, ever since the complete bottom, everything's just been going up. So it's like all these people are acting like they know everything because they're like, oh, this EMA, this linear regression, this, that, this, blah, blah, blah. When in reality, it's just the overall market just trying to recover. That's all it is. Come to me when there's a bear market talking about this only on the 1 minute linear regression, this, that, this, and that. None of it matters. It's just none of that matters. It's stocks go up, stocks go down, stocks go up, stocks go down. Sometimes they go a little sideways. Buy low, sell high. Buy low, sell high. However you do it, however you can figure out how to do it, that's awesome. But stop saying there's a freaking Holy Grail. Just stop it. There is none. God, it irks me. Okay, I'm done. And stop using the word indicator. I hate indicators. Holy Grail equal price action and risk management. Thank you, Brian. That's a much better way. I could have just ended on that. I wish I would have read that earlier. And this is again not directed at you and Biz Boyts or whoever was talking about it. Is not, none of that was directed at you. It was the general population of people that you see on StockTwits, on Twitter, on YouTube, just all these people that will only post videos or tweet about when they win and they act like they have it all figured out. But why was there 4 days, 2 weeks of them not posting? But every time they're green and have something that they claim works all the time, like these linear regressions, I'm just using this as an example, by the way, at this point, that's when they post. Oh, look at how this perfectly bounced off this middle line of the linear regression, blah, 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 blah. This is how I trade. It's like, okay, well, let me go find all the trades you took where it didn't do that. I'm actually going to bring my dad back into this conversation. He is always talking about how Vegas rigs the football games, right? Vegas controls the NFL. Vegas does this. The spread is this, and oh, it's so funny. The game ended, and look at what the spread was. Like, he's always saying that. Well, first off, the spreads of the games move, right? So if a game starts at, say, -7 for whoever's the home team, whatever, that spread based off of who is betting will move. So if everyone is betting that they're going to cover that 7 point spread, that 7 point spread will start to get bigger. It'll go to 8, and then it'll go to 9, and it'll go to 10 until people stop betting on that team covering those points. And once it gets to that point, people will start betting the other way, all the way up until the game starts, right? So what Vegas is trying to do is they're trying to even it out, right? Really, all that is doing, they're trying to get it as close as possible, because where they make all their money is when that shit is right in the middle, right? When that shit hits right in the middle, they get all the money, right? So if they just keep it close, 50-50, 50-50, 50-50, every time they get one of those that hit right in the middle, they cash in, right? They get everybody's money. So what's going on with that is exactly what I feel is happening here. And I just done with it. Just done with it. Shot time. Yo, you're going off. I love this. I'm not going off. All right. I feel like let me scroll up just a bit. 5-minute bounce, Holy Grail. Use it on Snapchat Monday, I think it was. Yeah, you and your 5-minute bounce crap. Ugh. My leg is like cramping. I'm fine on the ground, thanks anyway. What is safe about jumping out of a moving plane? Nothing really. It's not safe at all. I mean, it's safe for until both your chutes don't work. TTM squeeze probably the best. And what the? Didn't you just say linear regression? What is this TTM? I remember you can find it in my videos. I put this linear regression on my charts for during that 7-month period where I was completely lost. I remember putting this on my chart for like 2 days, and I was like, this is stupid. I was like, it literally moves when you scroll. I mean, look at that. Trend is going up, right? All I got to do is scroll in, and now the trend's going down. Like, it makes no sense. All right. Anyways, I digress. Looking at the regress. What is this TTM? I don't even think I saw a TTM in here. It's probably not a thing. Yeah, I don't see that. I mean, I'm sure all of these work at some point. What is pivot point? I guess I gotta actually add it, huh? Pivot! This doesn't line up with like any of the pivots. I wonder how it's actually doing that. It looks uniform though. Oh no, it doesn't. Wonder what it's actually doing there. Actually, there was one day where I came in here and I started like, cause you can hit open study information page on any of these and it'll tell you like what they are. It's pretty cool. That was kind of a cool way that I was studying one night. Nothing works 100% of the time. Yeah. The people that try to act like something works 100% of the time, just don't ever watch them again. I'll make cookies for the show. I'll take some more of that shrimp. Got any more of that shrimp? Do I use the tape? I use the price action. So, I mean, I don't use the actual tape, like the time and sales. I don't use that. I used to, but then I started to read the candles, and the candles are the time and sales or the tape. So, you don't need the tape. Like once you get used to reading the price action through the candles. It's not about working 100%. Buy only when the indicators do work and not when they fail. Well, no shit. OASPQ? What is that? Is that a OTC? Is TTM a ticker? It is, but I don't think that's TTM squeeze shows when a stock is gathering energy. There's actually law and order to the market. What do you mean, Trader One? I enjoy your beer infused rants about what you like and don't like in the chat. Keep it coming. I have balls. I haven't needed one in a while, though. Actually, I haven't really had a morning where I felt like I needed one. It's because I've been drinking beer. Law and Order. I'm so confused. What are you guys talking about? Law and Order. TTM tells you real time when a stock is gathering. Oh wait, I just read that. Did you say that up loud? Yeah, you said that. You said it twice. Boy, aren't you the one that just was telling me to use the linear regression? You were. I bet your chart is that one that looks like spaghetti. I found your chart, Boyd. Boyts. I found it. Boyd sent me this in Discord, guys. Yeah, so you got the linear regressions, you got support resistance, you got all the EMAs, you got the Bollinger Bands, you got MACD, stochastics down here. Yeah, it's all pretty normal stuff. Yeah. VWAP's in there somewhere. I'm just messing with you, man. Oh, you're actually going to show me your chart. All right, let's see it. I'm ready. I know, I was messing with you. That's what drew me to follow you and start using the scanners. I could look past your trades, whether you win or lost, and see the percentage that the pair worked. It was because you posted every day. Thanks, man. I appreciate that. It's true. I hope that 5 years from now, I am still posting every single day because there will be no questions asked at how I got to where I am. Because I know in 5 years I'm going to have this figured out and I'm going to be doing well. It's just a matter of the process at this point, right? It's taking the time, paying your dues, learning correctly, keeping risk management in place so that you can pay your dues correctly. Stay in the game. Keep playing. Wake up and do it, right? 50% of the battle is showing up. That's for anything in life. It was one of the best. It was literally when I worked out at Gold Shim, it was on their front door. And it was a saying that stuck with me. 50% of the battle is showing up. That's really the hardest part. Once you're there, once you arrive at the gym, you're there, right? It's time to work out. You're there. You might as well work out. I don't know people who go to the gym and then turn around and go home, unless your gym is in your house. That's why home gyms aren't that effective, because you can literally just walk into a different room and do something else. That's why gym memberships to me are actually worth it, because I've tried the whole home gym thing and I'm just not very good at it. But when I was going to the gym, the hardest part was going to the gym. Sure, it looks like fireworks. In 5 years, you'll be old. God, yeah. In 5 years, I'll be 40. Mm. Yeah, I'm definitely done with. I found it took me a long time, and what I'm doing now is very similar to what I was doing a year and a half ago. But if I wouldn't have done everything that I've done since then, I would not have the knowledge and the confidence to do what I'm going to be doing moving forward. Like I I I don't know what it is, and I've been saying this for the last couple months, but I can just feel it. I can feel it happening. I can feel the confidence is there. I can feel something happening. Like the reading of the charts is just becoming easier. Like I don't really know. Maybe it's because I bought this thing, this crystal ball. Maybe that's the holy grail. It's right here. It is a freaking crystal ball this whole time. I didn't even realize it. I really want a snack. I think I'm gonna go get a snack. I'm still waiting for Boyd's chart. He didn't send it to me. I'll be right back. Give me, I don't know, like 30, 45 seconds. Be right back. I found me some fat food, aka yogurt pretzels. Yo, guys, the bot said make sure you like and subscribe. Click the bell next to the subscribe button to turn on notifications to let you know when I go live and post new videos. The bot said it, you gotta do it. The bot said so. You cannot feel the pain of sticking that fork in the outlet. All you have to do is listen to your elders and not hear them. So true. Okay, Biz, well, where are those channels? The only way you can do those channels is if you go and draw them yourself. And that's the that's the problem. I mean, you can just keep scrolling out on a daily and you would draw new lines every time. Like, here, let me show you an example. So I could draw a trend line like this. I guess it would kind of be like there. Then you could draw one here. Then you could draw one here. I mean, like, you could keep going back and forth like that. Or you could really go crazy. You can, like, really do stuff like this. I mean, and the thing is, this is what some people do. I mean, if and if you really want to get, I mean, like, you could even say, like, this one is like this. So I don't know. I mean, that's just, it's too much guess. I mean, do you really, what it boils down to, right, is the people trading these stocks. People have to trade these stocks. Do you really think whatever you're doing specifically, that the key is to do, you have to react and trade based off of everyone else that's trading, right? Do you really think that everyone else is looking at this daily chart the same way that you are? Do you think that everyone that is swing trading is looking at the intraday chart like you are? Do you think everyone that's day trading the intraday chart is looking at the daily like you are? At the intraday chart like you are? Are they all using the linear channel, the linear regression? Are they all using only the 1 minute chart? We know that's not the case. Just from the small sample size we have on YouTube of people that put themselves out there, there's people that use the 1 minute, the 5 minute, the 3 minute, the 15 minute, the dailies. There's people that use the 10 seconds chart. Like, all of that stuff just to me is noise. It doesn't matter. If that's what works for you, keep doing it. Right? There's thousands of different strategies. Whatever works for you, make it work. All I ask is risk management, discipline, right? You need risk management. That's the biggest thing. Biggest thing is risk management. But to me, I look at this stuff and it's like, whatever. Like this move on MGI. At what point did it give you any signs that that was going to be the top? There were none. Just out of curiosity, let's see what the 200 looked like. That's like the only one that I've ever seen kind of work on the daily. And that's all the way down there, so. What the? So that one that I posted wasn't that far off. Sorry, I'm picking on you, boys. I mean, I don't know how you look at this. Trading. I think I missed your question earlier too about how long I've been trading. I think you asked me that. I've been trading since August of 2018. So coming up on, all right, just past 2 years. Trading rooms. Trading rooms I've been in are the free one that Trade Ideas had. Like it's free even if you don't have trade ideas. I was in there for a little bit. I would go into True Traders because he had the free Tuesdays or whatever. They didn't really trade how I liked. Wasn't really my thing. And there was another guy that did free stuff too. I never paid for any rooms until ISW. And ISW was I just I used Trade Ideas for 7 months, by the way, before ISW, and I've always said it now that there's no way I'd ever go back. I mean, every single one of my trades comes from ISW. I don't. This is gonna sound stupid. I have a strategy. I have my edge. I don't do any prep work. None. I don't do. I don't wake up early in the morning. I don't stay up late at night looking at charts. Any of that crap. I wake up in the morning. I turn the scanners on. They do everything for me, literally. So I don't feel like it's just as I mean, if you guys were in the ISW room with Brian just for a week, ask Brad. Brad was just in there for a week. He got to experience if Brad's still here. It changes your perspective. It really does. Like what why am I doing all of this when I could just do this? Or some version of it. Nobody can be Brian. I'm going to tell you that right now. Draw your trend line from the first 2 spikes. Draw your channel from the first triangle in whatever time frame you're analyzing. From the first 2 spikes, draw a trend line. Draw your channel from the first triangle in whatever time frame you're using. So here. So like that. I guess it would be more like here. I don't really know where this line would go. I guess I kind of had it right. But if it's got to be linear, right? It's got to be parallel to each other. I still don't understand like what this does. And clearly it didn't stay in there. I'm not drawing the trend lines properly. I3 said it was toppy. Yeah, the only lines you see me use are support and resistance. The problem is you can see anything you want to in a chart. That's what I was getting at earlier. Are people will be like, I only trade when the 9 crosses the 20, right? We'll use the 9 crossing the 20 as an example. On the 1 minute chart, when the 9 crosses the 20, I get long, and I'm going to show you every time it worked. Well, okay, well, show me all the times it didn't work. I say this all the time. All the time. Winning is easy. The winning aspect of trading is easy. How you lose is what will define you as a trader. That is the truth. If you don't know how to lose, you're not going to make it, because you are going to lose. How you lose is what's going to define you as a trader. Modified Fibonacci? All right. Hassan, I actually did increase my sizing just a little bit this week. I'm confused. When I draw the fibs, the 50% line comes up there. I know what you're saying, though. I understand the fibs. Like, I've read about the math behind them and all that stuff. What am I looking at on Twitter? You guys want to send me pictures and stuff, find me on Discord or Twitter. I will gladly bring them up and look at them. What am I looking at? Is this the trend line you drew? What is that? I don't understand. What is that showing us? I'm confused what these percentages are as well. I mean, they're obviously going off high of day. Confusing is what it is. It can't be the fibs, though, because where's the bottom? Oh, here's the 100% all the way down here. Why do you have the 100% all the way down here? Oh, I see. You're just using the day. You're using the whole day. All right, guys, hold on. Captain Hindsight coming in hot. And it's still backwards, I guess. I do mine upside down. Well, according to you. It is upside down. I did it again. I haven't drawn them in a while. I just think it's funny because what if VWAP held support up here at 21.24 at the 23.6 line and then continues up higher day? Like, I just this is what gets me is the hindsight bullshit, because all these people are like, they'll look at a chart like this, and it's so easy to sit here and say, oh well, blah, 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 blah. Well, what if at this point in the day it decided we're not going to dump like this, we're going to go back to high of day and we're just going to grind up the rest of the day? Then what? Like that, play devil's advocate with yourself on a daily basis. One of the best ways I get people to stop saying I left money on the table. David does this. Thomas does it. Well, he used to do it. Thomas is actually really good at not doing it now. When you left money on the table, who cares? Say you exited a short position right here at VWAP because it felt like VWAP was holding and this candle was happening. So say you got out like right here and it goes high of day. You feel like a genius. But when it does this, you're like, oh my God, I left money on the table. I'm such an idiot. Why didn't I hold my shares? What am I doing? I'm a horrible trader. See how a stock that you have absolutely no control over does one of two things, and your emotions are completely different after the fact. Captain Hindsight, right? Stop it. It's bullshit. It's all bullshit. You're in the trade live. You're making reactions based off of what's happening in front of you. None of that to the right is there. So stop talking in the past like you knew what it was going to do. It's fucking bullshit. B, you'll have a Discord message? I want a Discord message. I feel left out. Brad, thank you, though, for using Discord. It'll force Brian to use it. David said, just don't lose. That's a good one, too. Losing is unacceptable. I'm going to tell you right now, and I'm not throwing Justin under the bus or trying to bring up bad memories, but if you really think losing is unacceptable, you're going to end up losing. And I mean losing. Like what you don't want to lose. That's why I'd preach risk management. Supply and demand zones. I mean, what I'm trading, the fast moves, they usually don't really care about supply and demand zones, I feel. So no. I feel like you're talking support resistance, Joe. I used to trade that way, where you'd look for, that range and you'd trade the top of the range short, looking for it to come down. You buy the bottom of the range and you try to go back up, supply and demand zones. I don't do that anymore. But I have tried it, yes. Very 50-50. That's the thing with a lot of strategies out there, is people don't realize how 50-50 they are. You might have hot streaks, and that's when people come out and say, oh, look what I found. But, when it's going the other way, that's that couple weeks that they don't post. Oh, they work better than normal fibs? Gotcha. Later, Brian. Have a good weekend, man. Drink one for me. One more for me. 23 fib is a sign of strength and continuation. Whatever. I'm done talking about that. I know, like, if you are new, I feel like it's the first time I've talked to you, trader. I'm just not the guy that sits here and appeases everybody. I'm not here to make everyone happy. But I'm also not going to sit here and tell you you're wrong. But I am going to tell you there's thousands of different strategies. If it works for you, keep doing it. That's all. I'm going to just keep saying it. I'm not opposed to talking about that stuff, but I feel like we've kind of beat the dead horse enough with that tonight, and I just don't feel like talking about it anymore. Jag, get the fuck out of here. Oh, yeah, you did. Apps. Perfect example. You get short somewhere in here, makes this crazy move down, and you cover down here, and it starts to bounce, and you're like, I'm a genius. I got the meat of this move. Look at this. And then look at what it does. You got what is this? 2 points. You got 2 full points out of this trade if you started this and covered here, and you're feeling like a genius. And then this thing drops all the way down to 25, another 4 points. And now you're like, I left a lot of money on the table. I could have made 4 more points on my shares. Get the F out of here. Including you, Mom. Get out of here. Good night. Go get some rest. I'm pretty sure Jag mentioned this kind of as a joke. Thank you, Jag. I hope you did. Boyd's actually asking a legit question. Thank you, man. After trading counter trend for so long, do you think you'll ever trade with the trend? 100%. In the future, once I start getting into some house money, you're going to see me take some other trades. But I want to make sure that I'm sticking to my bread and butter, right? I want to make sure that I know exactly what I'm doing. I want my moneymaker, basically, my A-plus setup. And then once I have that down pat and I'm making money consistently with it, I can venture off and start trying these other things. And you're going to see some like YOLO type plays that are going with the trend. Like those micro floats. I'm probably play those with some smaller share size. See if that thing can go up 50 points in a day, right? Throw 100 shares at that and see if it'll go up 50 points. Hell yeah. David had one. Yeah, lotto tickets. That's basically what they are. But you have a good tight risk on it, right? The risk management's still there. If it doesn't do what you thought it was going to do, just get out, all right? But it only takes one of those to work to pay for like 50 other times that you try it. So, and when you do get it, you're just like, yeah. 38 is also a healthy balance. Yeah, I'm not talking about that anymore. 50%. Yeah, I'm not talking about that anymore. Sorry, trader. I know I sound like a complete dick right now. This is not who I am. I'm just. It was a long week, and talking about fibs is just not at the top of my interest list right now. David's not wrong. Which reminds me, I should probably make sure I save this. I think I'm gonna get rid of these. Or no, I want to keep the ask one. But I don't need this one. David said, or when you don't change your hotkeys for a week and then mess up a trade. I just don't understand what I was doing. I was like just so lazy for some reason with it. Made no sense. These pretzels are so good. I need to put them away. Last one. Alright, trader, I'm gonna bite for 1 second. You say there's lots of respect on the 61.8. Where is the 61.8? You know how many people I've seen draw fibs differently? Some people draw them from the start of the move, which was here to here. Some people will draw them as we just saw. Boyts, he'll draw them based off of the the day. So some people will use like the low of day. Say low of day was here, and it goes up to high of day. He'll draw them here. Say somebody is playing it off of this bounce spot down here. You're gonna see them use this one. Like, which one is it? Everyone does it differently. This is what I was trying to explain earlier. Like, let me just use another example. Let me get rid of these. If we're drawing lines, say we got all these lines. This is why a lot of the YouTube gurus, they'll have charts like this, because at the end of the day, they can be like, there it was. It was 30. It was that 3062 line. I told you. It was that 3062 line right there. I had it drawn on my chart. You had 100 fucking lines on your chart. Of course, one of them was gonna be right. like, fuck. Hopefully that little rant got my point across. Any update on GDT? GDT actually stopped by the ISW room the other day and said hi. Well, he said good luck everybody, and then just disappeared. Haven't heard from him since. I think that was Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. It was one of those days. I think it was Wednesday. I think it was. Was it Wednesday? If it was Wednesday, GDT's not allowed back anymore. Now I'm actually curious what day it was. Like Jason Bond and no YouTube videos after a big loss. Well, yeah. I mean, he's selling himself and his service. Those guys aren't going. They're after the people that are oblivious. They're after the sheep that will pay for their course and their chat room. And that's all they care about. Once they have you in there and you paid for the course, they don't care about you. I got 100%. They could care less about you. I don't want to bring Will up. I feel bad for him, actually. I mean, mental illness is a serious thing, guys. And I have experience with it, not myself, but with people that I know, not in my family, in my wife's family. It's a serious thing. So to see something like that happen to Will, it was pretty obvious that there was some mental illness there, and I really hope he's getting his help. Granted, before that all happened, the dude was a complete sham, but it's very unfortunate. Anytime you see somebody go down that path, you can't ever wish that on somebody, and I didn't, but to actually see it happen, it does. It's sad. I mean, you got to feel bad for the guy when it comes to that, but when he does get back on his feet and stuff, you just got to hope that he learned from what he did, because everyone knew that he was a sham, and I think he started to realize that he was, not being taken seriously anymore. And I think that's kind of what led him down that path. But, it's never good to see that. This is why I like to have tiny shares with a break-even stop and then go for a walk. Yeah. And like I tell David all the time, I wish I could. That's why, I added this 25% button for the future, really, because I'm actually going to change the colors of these. I'm not a big fan of how, I'm going to do that here in a second. I'm not a big fan of how they're all the same color. It's kind of hard to read. But right now, I'm at the bottom of the scale. So I can't scale out. I mean, I can, but it almost makes it not worth it after commissions and stuff like that. So it's really tough for me. Like a lot of the big guys, if you're starting with a couple thousand shares, you can take half of that position out and you still have 1,000 shares. Like 1,000 shares can do some damage on a stock that's moving. But if you got 10 shares, you take 5 of them out, you only got 5 shares left. I mean, it would have to move an entire point to get $5. Like that's, I mean, granted, I mean, you can tell I'm scaling up because everything is like 10 or higher for the most part at this point. I'm starting to get more aggressive with what I'm doing. So essentially I am scaling up. I even moved my max loss up so that we can be more aggressive. Um, with how like we basically restructured how it was happening because I was getting to max loss too quickly when I was trying to be aggressive when it was at 30, but by moving it to 40 and I've seen such a huge difference in just a week. So I'm actually really excited to keep that moving forward, and I really think that might be the sweet spot that we were looking for. You get to a point where you know what you want to do, but defining it and tinkering it, using the word tinkering, unfortunately, but getting it fine tuned, I guess is a better way to say it, to exactly where you want it it can be tough. Um, you're not going to write down a strategy and then a year from now, that's going to be the exact same strategy you're using because you're going to find something that needs to be changed just because of, experience and actually using it. Something that looks good on paper doesn't necessarily always translate well into the market. Break even gives a lot more room than a trail, which can be good or bad. Yeah. Well, sometimes break even doesn't give you any room because you're in a bad trade. I believe if it works for you, go with it, but you have to do it the same way every time with no emotions. So you do, yeah. Thomas actually makes a really good point. We haven't really talked about the emotions of everything. You can sit here on paper and say you're going to do this every single time, but I can guarantee you're not going to do it the same every single time unless your strategy involves something like the 9 crossing the 20 and you have a button that you click that puts a set like 2-to-1 risk to reward ratio, cover and take profit, or target profit and stop out every single trade. Like that's what your strategy is. That could be consistent, right? You see the 9 crossing the 20. Once it crosses, boom, hit the button, and your OCO order gets put in, range order, whatever you want to call it. You're good to go, right? You walk away. One hits or the other, and that's it. But I can tell you, even when I tried to do something similar to that, not with the 9 versus crossing the 20, but when I tried to do something where I would put it in and either I hit the take profit or the stop, I would still find myself be like, it looks like it's going to hit the stop. I'm just going to take it here. And then it would have hit target, right? There's times where I took profits early because I was like, it's holding support here. It doesn't want to come down and hit that take profit. It's not going to get there. And I would take profits early. Sometimes it would hit. Sometimes it would go up and stop me out. And there's times that it would have went out and stopped me out. I'm like, I'm a genius. But then there's times where it would have went down and hit my target. And I'm like, damn it. Like, you can't do that, right? Like Thomas just said, if you're going to have a strategy that says do this ABC, you need to do ABC. It's that simple. If you don't, random trades equal random results. And it's just going to happen like that over and over again if you keep doing it. Chat room, waste of money and time. Yeah, I agree. Unless it's ISW's chat room. It's kind of funny, and it sucks to say that, but anyone that has been in the ISW chat room, they will tell you it's unlike a normal chat room. It's more of a camaraderie, more like we're there because we all have similar interests and we're all using the scanners in one way or another, like very alike, I guess is a good way to put it. We're not there for alerts and to be sheep and to follow. We're there to learn from each other. We're not there to follow each other. It's such a huge difference from like what you would typically think of a chat room. Yeah, no, I know Zelisk. I'm not gonna bring that back up. Yeah, if I end up in a trade where I am scaling out, I mean, you've seen me in trades where they actually do work and I end up holding them for quite some time. Like if I nail the top here and I start scaling and I scaled out and I if it comes down this far, I will definitely use break even. I won't use high of day. But there comes a point where it's pretty obvious, like on this candle here, like you can see this in the moment. This isn't me hindsight trading. You can see as this candle is forming when it's happening, it tried to go all the way down here to, what is that, 28.81, and it got bought all the way back up here and closed at 29.27. And then it kept on going, right? It tries to come back down, does not get back down there, starts to go higher. Right when it breaks this here, it's a pretty common horseshoe pattern, right? Almost, this is a pattern that I've always talked about wanting to trade, and I did trade it for a little while, and I found out it can be pretty like 60-40, and it's just, I don't know, it sucks because when you get, it's one of those ones where your stop has to be here. And it's so far away. So to even get 1-to-1, just to try to draw a line that kind of looks about the same, and that's a far away, right? So if you're going 1-to-1, I mean, just to get 1-to-1, it's pretty far. But at the same time, it's very easy to, it can go there, right? But it can also do what it did. So if you're looking for 1-to-1, this would have been one of those ones where if it was a set it and forget it trade, where look how close you got, and then you went up, it went all the way down and stopped out. All right. So that's why I don't like those. But what I was getting at is if I scaled out, that's probably where I would have taken the rest of my profits, right? Because to me, that's a pretty obvious spot where it's going to try to go higher. And at that point, when it tries to go higher, we don't know that it's going to do what it did, right? It could come up, go through VWAP, come back down to VWAP, hold VWAP, and then start to grind back up, right? And then go high of day. We don't know what it's going to do. Nobody knows what it's going to do. Not us anyway. Not us peons. Yeah, I only scale out when I hit full size, and it's only leave a quarter to break even. And once share size goes up, I'll push it to high of day and take a small loss on that quarter. That's what I've been doing on the initial. That's what I did on LI today, because I had, especially because it was the second push, I had confidence that this was going to do this. It was just very unfortunate that it went up and smacked high of day real quick before it did it. I think MGI even kind of did the same thing, yeah. So, like I had said, if I would have scaled out of this, it's one of those ones, like right here, you can see the obvious horseshoe, right? It comes down, bounces, finds support a little bit higher from that bottom, and then once it crosses that candle right there, it goes, right? That's a very common thing to see. It just so happens that it worked on both of these charts. This is what I'm saying. I could sit here and show you these two charts and be like, oh, guys, this horseshoe pattern, it works all the time, right? Because I found two charts where it worked. But I guarantee you I could scroll through some other charts and find where this exact same thing, and it bounces, hits this point, and then just falls over. Like, that's kind of what I was getting at earlier. There's like a blister on my thumb. I put the I in Team ISW. Get out of here, David. I put the I in Team ISW. Captain Hindsight. Yeah, dude. Let me just pull up that picture. I post this picture all the time, mainly for Graham. Graham is Captain Hindsight for sure. Oh, it's in my downloads. I was like, where is it? It's such a good one too. I need to clear this out, man. This blister like hurts. I don't know where it came from. Oh, Captain Hindsight. There he is. Nope, that's the infinity and beyond. To infinity and beyond. Oh, here he is. Wait a minute, look! It's Captain Hindsight! Oh, you can't make it bigger? Squirrel? It says 2020, but my vision isn't. That's because they are both bouncers off the fib line. Get out of here. Oh, man. This fourth beer is kicking in a little bit. Sorry, I'm like picking at this blister. I don't know where it came from. It's kind of weird too because I have a scar right there. and it formed like right on top of it. So it's like weird. It's like a newer scar too. I don't even know where it came from, to be honest. Whatever. Well, has anybody got anything else interesting to talk about? What are you guys up to this weekend? Anything good? Because I think I'm gonna start making my way out of here. I actually get to sleep in tomorrow. Pretty excited. Got some beers in me to make sure I sleep pretty well. Hopefully fix my mic on Monday. So Monday's video will probably still have the sound, and hopefully Tuesdays will not. Maybe if I'm that excited, if it works, I'll make a video Monday night. I'm not sure. Your free week of ISW? You guys want to give away a week of ISW? Can make that a weekly thing for anybody that's still here. What's a decent, inexpensive microphone? This one. This thing was only $60, but I think I was just looking for replacements, and I really couldn't find any. What is inexpensive to you, I guess, is the question I should be asking. The reason that this is a good microphone too is because it's USB and XLR. So you can start off using it as a USB mic, and if you ever want to go down the road of being able to use XLR, you can. You don't even have to change mics. Under 100? Yeah. I mean, you can't go wrong with this one. I mean, it comes with everything you need. Actually, I have the box right here, because I was grabbing the cable out of it. Pull this up so I can see what I'm showing you. There we go. The Samsung Q2U, it comes with everything you need. Comes with the stand, the USB cable, the XLR cable if you want to do XLR. Comes with the pop filter. Yeah, I mean, it comes with everything you would need. What's the most you've made in a day from day trading? Back when I first started trading, when I was trading stupid size, I made, it was like 650, something like that, 650. Ask me the most that I've lost in a day. You'll be even more impressed. You weren't supposed to ask. I think the most I lost was that first day ever trading. It was like 1350, something like that, something stupid, and that was all with a $5,000 account. First day I ever traded live, I lost. I think it was 1350. The next day I actually made like 4 or something back, but then there was one day, I don't even remember the ticker. I mean, I could go check, but I really don't care that much. First day, I'm gonna tell you guys the story of how I got started. So I'm sitting at home. I'm a stay-at-home dad. I got a how old was he? 2. He was 2. I think he was about to turn 2. No, he was 2. And I'm like, I would like to provide for my family. So I started looking at like online jobs, and I have no clue how I even, oh, I do remember. There was a kid named Jesse that I played. What game did I play with him? Rocket League. I was playing Rocket League with Jesse, and he was a huge Ricky Gutierrez fan. Now Jesse was 18, 19, wanted to be Ricky, like everybody else that follows Ricky. And I was an avid YouTube watcher at the time already. So I loaded, he was like, dude, check out what this guy does. And so I loaded up some of his videos and I started watching, and I was like, this shit's too good to be true, right? Like, that was the vibe I got from Ricky right away. And one thing that I've learned in life is anyone that talks as fast as he does is selling. They're always selling. Someone that talks that fast is always selling. They're either really excited about what they're talking about, which you can tell after a couple videos that's not what he's doing, or he's selling. And you find out really quick that he's selling. But neither here nor there. Watching him then led me to start searching YouTube, looking for more information. Came across Ross, came across Clay, came across a lot of the big guys that come up because their videos were popular at the time. And I naturally gravitated to Ross, right? Who doesn't? That's part of why I made my channel, is to try to get ahead of some of these people that are new that gravitate to Ross. And believe it or not, CMEG was a blessing in disguise, because a lot of people that want to trade like Ross go searching for CMEG reviews and stuff like that to do their due diligence before putting money into the account or making the account to begin with. And that's how some people have found me. And I've successfully, some unsuccessfully, have tried to steer people away from people on YouTube that are selling. And that was part of the reason why I made the channel. The main reason I made my channel was to document my journey, which it still is. But if in the process I can help along the way, why not, right? That's kind of the beauty of it. Some people that I consider some of my closest friends now, I've met through this. So I can't imagine at this point not meeting these people and having them as a part of my life. So it's just one of those things. I'm very humbled, to say the least. But anyways, I watched Ross and watched, and I went all the way back into his YouTube database. And I'm just watching him. I'm like, I don't have to pay for his course. He's got all this stuff right here. I download Thinkorswim. I start trading like Ross for 2 weeks. And just absolutely killing it, right? Absolutely just annihilating it. I mean, Ross was trading 10,000 shares at the time. I remember, because I said, if I could just make 10% of what he's making, I'll be happy. So all I got to do is trade 1,000 shares. Well, that's what I did on my very first day trading, and I lost $1,350 first day. And I remember showing my wife within those 2 weeks, like, watch this. Watch how easy this is. Holy crap, this is so easy. Why is this so easy? I'm printing money. This is so easy. And then the first day I went live, she came home from work that day. And I'm just sitting there with my son. And I'm like, I don't remember the exact words I used, but I remember saying something along the lines of, like, I had a minor setback today. That was it was a typical, well, yeah, it was obviously too big of a size. And I used 1,000 shares, and I think it was JMIA. I really don't feel like going to look, to be honest. I want to say it was JMIA, and I bought in. It was probably like $1.70 or something as it was breaking out, and it was one of those ones where it was a fake break. And it wasn't just a fake break, but it was from like 170 to kaboom, and it just dropped straight down. Now, it wasn't just one trade, by the way, that I lost all that money. It was like 3 trades. But it was just one of those ones where it went up and then kaboom, just went straight down. And I remember it was like 30 cents, like instantly. I was down like $300. And this entire time on the paper trading account, I'm like making 150, making 200, 200, 150, 100, whatever it was. And I was like, this would be awesome, right? Every day, if I could just make $100 a day, this would be awesome. And instantly being down 300, you're just like, what just happened? Well, then it started to come back up, and I'm like, okay, it's okay. It was just a pullback. Like, right? That's kind of what he teaches you. It's just a micro pullback. And I remember this distinctly. It was going up, and it did what we call sloppy seconds now. And it just got slammed. And I remember closing that trade. I want to say it was like 650 is what I lost on that trade. And then I remember trying to find another trade, and it was like 2 more. I'm pretty sure I took 3 trades that day, and it totaled out to 1350 on the first day. I mean, I'll never forget the amount because I remember having to tell the wife, out of the $5,000, I just lost over 20% of it pretty quickly. Garen Phillips? Yeah, I know who that is. Wait, he didn't last? What do you mean? He's the one that made that like video that went super viral, right? He was like kind of like a wood shop guy or something. I feel it was like how he learned to day trade or some, I forget what it was. He had a video, I think, if we're talking about the same person that like went uh that went viral. It had like a ton of views. He gave up, but he had good insight on how to begin. Yeah, I remember that. Ross's style will break you. My buddy blew up 4 accounts before he caught on. Yep. My first day I was up 492 and just wanted to make 500. Ended the day down 650. Jeez. $8. You should have took $8 out of your pocket and put it on the table. That's what you should have did. I used to do that in poker, and it would annoy me because I would shoot for a specific number, and I would go and sit down at the poker table with a goal every day, just like I do with trading. If I make this amount, I'm done. Like that's it. I'm done. I don't care how hot I'm running. I don't care if it was the first hand. I don't care if it was I was there all night. I don't care what it was. If I make that amount, I'm good. I'm get up and leave. And I can't tell you how many times I get within like $15, $20 of that amount, and I would just be like, oh, I can make that. And before you know it, you get cold decked and you lose all of it, like you did, and then some, right? I mean, granted, in poker you can't keep going. You can only lose what you're playing with, but it's one of those things. I mean, you can at that point be like, oh, so close. I'm just gonna buy in again. I'm gonna try it. But there's been times I've sat down and literally in the first hand I've made my goal because I ended up all in with somebody else and I won, and that was it. I sat down with a buy-in. If I doubled that buy-in, I'm done. That was the goal. Ross trades like he's playing Miss Pac-Man or something. It's so true. I said that now. I feel like trading for Ross is not actually trading at this point. It's more of just it's content. To him, trading is just content. I feel like you can just tell that he doesn't really enjoy it like he used to. It's more of like he feels he has to so that he can keep his little thing going on. Do I think day trading is like gambling? I mean, it depends on how you trade. Honestly, that's a good one for Brian where he could say it depends. Out of here, guys. Have a great night. Appreciate it, David. You too, man. I'm gonna get out of here too, guys. I'll give it. I'll do the 2 minute countdown. You know, I'm having such a brain fart with my two rules, like my two main rules. You think I wouldn't? I always say two things. I know risk management is one. Is it discipline? I keep wanting to say discipline, but I feel like it's not discipline. See you, man. See you, Jack. Have a good weekend. Ugh. I mean, I know risk management is one. That's always number one. YouTube biz. I hope you guys don't take any, you and Boyts. I hope you guys don't take anything personal. I just I'm not gonna say I'm set in my ways because that's not true at all. I know what I want to do. I know what my edge is and my strategy, and I also have been through all of these other strategies as well to get to where I am. So to sit here and basically be told over and over again, basically that I'm an idiot, and it's like whatever. All right, Brad. See you, man. Addedly, you don't want to see that, man. I showed it earlier. You can see it. I don't really care. We ended up break even for the month. That bad day on Wednesday really got us. If that day didn't happen, yeah, we'd be doing a lot better than we are. And I was saying back here too, this is when I was having that rough week. I don't know if you were watching my videos that week, but I was pretty down and out that week, and I was taking trades that I wouldn't normally take, and yeah, you can see how that worked out. Look at it in bar format real quick, give you a little different perspective, and there you go. 3 month. I'm not looking back that far because past the beginning of this month, I wasn't trading like I am now. I like to work in sets. If I'm trading a specific way, there's no point to look back past that point. So, I mean, I could show you like my overall, like how I am completely since I started trading, but I don't really see the benefit in looking at all that information. I mean, you guys know from before that I'm down. Like I'm I've said it before. I'm still trying to become a break-even trader. That's a feat in itself. Before you can become profitable, you have to become a break-even trader. It's that simple. I'm Biz, I'm glad you take it that way, man, cuz that's all it is. Love you too, Brad. Still waiting for them cookies, damn it. Later, Thomas. Yeah, I hope you can too, man. Seriously. Stay safe. Hopefully it doesn't get too hot. I'm sure I'm sure having no AC has that just has to suck, especially down there. I mean, at least it's not when you normally get hurricanes, right? When it's really hot. At least it's kind of cooling down. Excuse me. Any other questions? A I do really hope everybody has a good weekend. If you think of anything that you may have not thought of just now, feel free to find me on Discord, Twitter, leave a comment on any of the videos, answer them all, unless they're spam. Silly spam. Somebody went crazy with one today. I think it had like 27 likes or something. Them guys go hard. Alrighty. Well, with that, I'm going to get out of here. Appreciate y'all stopping by. Again, have a good weekend, and I will see you guys Monday. Peace.